What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dana Danes. Welcome to my channel, the after show nobody asked for. So this is a video review of VH1's Couples Retreat, Season 1, Episode 2, Ring of Fire by yours truly. And please keep in mind that my thoughts and views are for entertainment purposes only. So please don't take me too seriously. And I think that's about it. So let's get into it. So the episode starts where we left off last episode. We're all trying to find out what Ray J wants. He's stormed off and upset that he's on blast and feeling attacked, pretty much. He's taking Princess's truth and acting like she's using it to attack him. But sir, she is just being honest and sharing what it is, which is her truth. I thought he said he wanted to fix things. He said he wanted to fix this relationship. Anyways, so they turn our attentions back to Princess and she's crying. She genuinely does not know where she stands in this relationship. It's clear now, personally. I think Ray wants his family. I think Ray J wants his family, but doesn't want to say it first. Doesn't want to say it publicly. He doesn't think Princess wants the same things. So he's all up in his ego and he's refusing to allow himself to be vulnerable, and it's hurting his case. It really is. Like, nobody's here for him right now. So to me, they both want this marriage. But as of now, I feel like they both are in the dark with where they stand, and nobody's really willing to make it clear. Well, specifically, Ray J is not really willing to make it clear. Ray J has the boys talking to him. They're talking him down, and AJ's helping Princess through everything. She's crying, and they choose to move forward pretty much without Ray because he's saying he can't handle it. He's not coming back. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. Blah, blah, blah. So AJ heads into the first activity, and it's called Stuck. And Lord, the name alone done has me shook at this point. I'm just like, goodness, what is she going to do? She's going to tie them together like, we've seen in some other couples retreat type style shows. And it turns out it's more like red light, green light in the sense of where your relationship is, in fact. So they're taking their steps forward as each question is asked and isn't taking steps forwards. And it's quite interesting. As most couples were, side-eyeing each other with each step that they took, okay? These couples are definitely not on the same page for the most part, and it really revealed a lot. Just this simple little game, it really revealed a lot. So the scene ends, and we got a pretty good idea of where all of them stand at this point. AJ dismisses the group. So AJ's gone, and the couples seem to be going over what they felt. Kirk and Rashida, they feel bad, especially Kirk, for the other couples, that is. Rashida, however, is processing how this man can really say he's over the infidelity that they've been through when she's not. And, well, the cheese stands alone. Okay? I already kind of explained how I feel about Rashida and Kirk, so I'm not going to go back down that road. Then they move forward to the Santanas, okay? They were next, and they were just joking around about the drama that happened. They're, seeing amongst all the other couples, amongst everybody around them. They don't seem too shook yet. Then we go to Princess, and she's crying, and she's sad, and I feel really bad for her, you guys. Ray J pretty much bowed out at the first sign of confrontation, and I empathize with her and how hurtful that could be for her. She came there to try to work on things. She keeps saying that, this is our last shot. And Ray J's just not showing up. Speaking of Ray J, he's up next, and we see him apologizing to us, through the camera on his phone or whatever they film with. And I'm just like, boy, will you go apologize to your wife? We don't care. Like, I don't need you to apologize to me, okay? We need to see you apologize to Princess. We're here to see you guys fix things out. Fix that beautiful family of yours. Take your ass on about, continue to pray for me, guys. Let me tell you something. take that over to your wife, sir. We don't want to hear it. We want to see you give that effort and apology to Princess, and also probably to production, because let's face it, you were probably giving them a hard time as you were supposed to be included in that scene. So here we go. It's the next day, and all the couples come out and they sit down with each other, each of them facing each other, and they begin another game where they pretty much ask questions that were predetermined on these cute little cue cards. It goes to Michael and Rada. I hope I'm saying her name right. Rada. Anyways, it goes to Michael and Rada. And the first question was, describe the moment you realized I was in love with you. And Rada says it's when Mike said, stay. You don't have to go anywhere. You could stay right here with me. I'm inclined to believe her because, honey, he's not finding many women who are willing to share the way that you do, okay? Michael Blackson does not have many women willing to enter a relationship and have foursomes, threesomes, fivesomes. I know that that's a lifestyle, but I find that women like that are hard to find, and I think he knows it too. Okay? And then we get to see some others answer, right? And it turns out that most of the ladies said the same thing. Yandy and Rashida said the same thing. Like when their men said that they didn't want them to leave, this was when they knew that they were in love with them. Okay? Which was kind of cute, right? Then we go to Princess and Ray J, and the question is, when was the last time I made you feel secure as a man? Cue the looking eyes emoji right now, okay? Because my ears perked up to hear Princess's answer. But they then, passed along to Michael and his boo. And, at first glance, it doesn't seem like he knows the answer. Neither does Kirk. But we do, in fact, get an answer. And they started off with Delicious's husband. And I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember his name right now while I'm doing this review. I should have wrote it down. And he says, every day. Ugh, I love that, you guys. I love this couple. And he said how she edifies him daily by letting him know that he's a king. And I just thought that was so beautiful, how he really described how she continuously makes him feel like that, feel like a man and feel like a king. And that's just amazing. I really love this couple. I really, really do. So we begin to get the other couple's answers. Michael says Rada trusts in him and believes in him, and he really feels and sees that from her. Mendici says that this morning to Yandy, because she didn't make him breakfast and didn't bring him into bed. Yandy laughed, and so did I, because in my mind, that's not a big deal. But you know what? Maybe it is to him. Maybe that's his love language. So I'm not going to dismiss him. I just expected a more serious offense. So Ray says he doesn't know and has been naked and afraid for a long time. And Princess agrees. And I'm kind of glad that Ray J seems to be trying to open up this time around with this process. So anyways, they move along and we get to see some cam footage of Radha, and she's complaining about not being able to have serious conversations with Michael. And I think, I can see that being an issue with, any comedian. They're somewhat always really on. They really don't know how to turn it off, which can be frustrating, I would think. So anyways, so I get it. Kirk is thinking about all the drama. I don't know. He's such a drama queen. He is really checking everybody else's drama but his own. Princess, she's not optimistic, and Ray J seems to be somewhat optimistic, but maybe he really can't catch these signals from Princess. I don't know, because I don't know why at this point he thinks, maybe things are getting better. Maybe because he felt like she didn't throw any shots, even though I don't think that she was throwing shots at all. But anyways, we then move to the pool scene with Delicious and Yandy. They're getting in. They're looking real cute. And they begin to talk about their relationship. Okay? Their relationships with their men, not their relationship. You know what I mean. Because, both their men have been to prison. And they begin to discuss what it's been like for them as wives. And their husband's trauma and how they are, now that they're home, They talk about their husbands having, trouble sleeping, being jumpy. Things you wouldn't really think about when you think about how it might be being with someone who just got out of prison. I don't think any of us really think of the real PTSD that some of these men leave with. So they also started opening up to each other as wives. And I really like this bonding moment. One of the things I like about the show so far is it's not too much drama in between the couples, like them fighting each other, but them really coming together, helping each other. So far, so good. The vibe is, I like it. So then they head over to Mendici's and Delicious's husband. I know I'm horrible. I cannot remember his name and I did not write it down. And they also open up about this common experience, right? So these two amazing men, I'm going to say amazing because, at least to their wives, they share this common experience. And they talk about the lasting effect of prison life and their wives, and they continue to share how odd it is and just the whole adjustment process being out, things, how much things have changed, and really needing to lean on their wives to be able to show them what's up, what's new, how to do things now, and things like that. And Mendici's really started talking about seeing, Yandy on social media and how hard it was for him to see that. And then have her not reach out to him, I guess, at the end of the day. And I understand how he could feel that way. But I also understand that that's also how Yandy makes her bag, y'all. She's an influencer and a reality TV star. We all know that's how they make their money. So Delicious's husband shares how his wife has taught him so much about even being married. And again, I just love them, okay? I love them. And I love how he sees and appreciates her for that. And Mendici's agrees. And he, even again, that's when they kind of went into, how much they're being taught by them. And that was great for me. I loved this scene. So after that, they pan over back to the conversations they had with the little cue cards. And I must say, I like what editing did with this, going back and forth. It gives us more context. I liked it. So they go back to the conversations with the cue cards, and Michael asks Rada, if I lost my memory, what would be the first thing you tell me to remind me of who I am? Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Rada says, I'd remind you have a big D. Now, look, I'm starting to see how this couple works. Because Rada doesn't seem to be taking this seriously either. Sometimes she's turning it into a joke. They both laughed. I laughed. It was cool. Ray J says he would reintroduce himself. Like, I am your husband. Kirk says Rashida loses her memory all the time. That's me, y'all. That's me right now. Then they go back to Ray J, and he'd say he'd reintroduce the kids like, these are your children. And they're laughing, and so is Rashida and Kirk. And as he's talking about giving Rashida some weed and hoping it cures her like it did their grandma, like, boy, please. I did laugh, though. I laughed. So the scene ends there. Now we get to see Miss AJ come on the scene, and she brings out the Ring of Fire. And Ray J is first up. He's hoping things will be better one-on-one, at least with AJ. And he comes out and takes his seat. AJ is looking gorgeous, by the way. She's so beautiful, as always. And here we go. So Ray J says he wants to talk, and Ray J wants to talk about the semantics of the previous night's events. He starts talking about how Princess was painting him in a bad light and what really happened. And at this point, for me, I can see that Ray J is really just trying to once again play the victim. Their issue is not just about who did what. But anyway, he's saying how Princess makes him feel, and AJ asks him the same question that set him off last night. Why are you with her then? Listen, Ray J got so annoyed, and this tanks downhill quickly, okay? He starts saying she's right and thank you. He completely shuts down and tries to leave the conversation. He's thanking her, completely dismissing her and disrespecting her once again. And I'm like, come on. You're a grown ass man. You can't be so triggered so easily. But he is. So AJ convinces him to take a seat once again, but he continues to disrespect her because now she's calling him out. She's calling him out for his childish behavior, and he can't handle it. He starts saying how he feels like he's talking to Princess now. And I mean, I feel sorry for Princess more and more as this episode continues. So listen, when she said, so is it about talking with Princess, or is it that you can't hear the truth? I clutched my pearls, I swear. He was once again livid. I mean, AJ is calling him out, and he is just not there for it, right? So pretty much in the middle of the conversation, and I swear I wanted to reach through the screen and slap the ish right out of his hand, because I know he didn't just pull out his phone and try to act like they weren't in the middle of a conversation. I know I wanted AJ to do it. I know that she wanted to do it. I think we all did, but she's got more class than me, so that didn't happen. She continues to use her words, but he can't take that either. So what does he do? He gets up and he walks away. Surprise! Not really, okay? Whatever, Ray J. Bye. Be gone. We're done with you. And here we go again. He's back on his little cam and he's trying to act as though the problem is AJ and trying to basically say she's not doing her job. But let's be real, Ray J. He just wants to pretty much have a kiss ass, okay? He cannot be held accountable and does not want to be held accountable. He wants a yes man, okay? He doesn't want to be accountable for his words, his actions, and I'm calling this downfall right now because sweetie pie, baby, he isn't in it, okay? Now, he keeps saying he doesn't want to disrespect anyone, but the minute you call him out, there he go. And that's what he did, and there he went. So he's gone, and the rest of the couples come out and react to the setting because it was pretty intimidating for most of them. AJ announces that Ray J will not be joining, and they ask P about it. Why did she describe everything Ray J did to a T, y'all? Okay? See, now, we know this is how he truly is. And I'm stressed out for her because that's a lot, and she lives with him, okay? Anyways, AJ continues to let the couples know that she basically did not come here to make things easy for them, and they could leave if they truly wanted to. And, Princess raises her hand. She is tired of doing this thing alone, and AJ gets it. She dismisses herself, and the rest of the couples continue on with this new exercise and assignment. And guess who's up for the first couple to step into the ring of fire? It is none other than Rashida and Kirk. So AJ begins by going over this work thing that they have coming between them and not having any real time together. And Kirk just goes right ahead and sticks his foot in his mouth, talking about how this is a vacation and how he's stuck here with them now. And I'm like, AJ and Rashida at this point stuck? Like, both said at the same time, like, damn. Now, here's my little 2 cents, okay? They're still working, and I'm gathering that if there was no paycheck attached to this, they would not have come, okay? So there's that. But back to the episode and back to the shock and surprise of both Rashida and AJ with Kirk's use of the word stuck. Rashida is feeling like, why would he say that, and how hurtful it really was. So AJ pushes forward and brings up the infidelity and how Kirk stepped forward, but Rashida did not. And Kirk immediately gets annoyed. Not just with AJ, but production too, right? This made me laugh just a little bit because, well, if you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we all know he's telling producers basically what more I can say. Like, what more can I say? I've been there, done that. We've discussed it to death, right? And And he starts to tell his story, right? About how basically they were in a bad place. And, the things that we didn't really get to see and show on the show that led them to be in this place and in this position, how they weren't really having sex. And, Rashida goes into how, yeah, she was also going through, postpartum. He also feels like he deserves more credit for the years he was faithful. I think we're all questioning this timeline because the hot tub with Benzino and Bambi was before all of that, was before this son. So I digress, but Kirk, we remember you were dogging Rashida well before this baby. But anyways, he starts saying that he can't map out the future with his relationship. But I like how Rashida and AJ popped back and checked him on this, right? Because Rashida said, if we can map the businesses that we start, the several businesses that we've started, they should be able to map out the relationship. And I agree. AJ agreed. So they close out and we go to the next couple. And the next couple is Michael and Rada. AJ comes out the gate calling Rada out, okay? Rada likes to act like, the side chicks don't bother her. But they're also her biggest complaint, and Rada really fessed up. She agreed. She says that it's not the women really, but the issue is that things changed when they went from friends with benefits to their form of, I guess, monogamy. I don't know what it would be called. I'm a bit confused here, but basically when it's happening every night, I guess, every time, it began to overwhelm her and make her feel like maybe she's not enough. That's my opinion. She knew it wasn't going to be just them, but it seems like Michael wants this lifestyle consistently, regularly. When she's, there, when she's not there, when it's supposed to be just them for the weekend, when she's away. I mean, he will not stop bringing other women into the picture. My dear, can't you see it? He is a sex addict. Like, come on. There's no other way to explain it. At least that's how I view it. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know enough about this lifestyle. But what is clear is he doesn't see it the way, she does. In fact, Michael believes that now that Rada is in love, that she's now changing the rules and even trying to change him. And it honestly seems like it's just miscommunication. Not necessarily a control issue, at least to me. To me, these two just need to really get clear on what this looks like for them and set certain boundaries and rules. But I'm not the life coach here, right? After all, Rada does enjoy this lifestyle. She just wants more boundaries. She wants more substance. And I can understand that. So once again, they do a little flashback to the cue card game, and Yandy is asking Mendices, when was the last time you considered ending this relationship and why didn't you? Now, Mendici claimed that he could not remember a time, but Yandy sure the hell did, okay? She said that while he was incarcerated, he would say it all the time. Just ready to let her go and cut her loose whenever he wasn't getting the attention he wanted from her. In this moment, she speaks about the very first time he did it, which was in the car, dropping him off to pretty much hand himself in to do his time. But as we know from Yandy, this turned into his theme song. So here we go, back to the Ring of Fire, and Yandy and Mendices take their seats. So AJ asks if there are insecurities between them, and Mendici automatically says no. Yandy's face says different, and so does her mouth, okay? She starts to speak on the fact that during his time in prison, right, just like how we just saw in that clip, he was very insecure, and she felt like she was in prison too. They begin to argue because Mendici says she didn't email him for months. I think it was 2 months at one point, and Yandy says that's because they spoke every day. Now, Mendices disagrees, but I want to know in the comments below, is Mendices asking for too much? After all, she has to work, right? She's taking care of 2 babies. If it wasn't every single day, is that okay? Anyways, back to them. they go back and forth and pretty much about how often they spoke and how he wanted to break up if he wasn't going to get the same attention that he got when he was out. He admitted that he felt like he was pretty much put on a shelf because he was in prison, and that when he got out, she would be on him, like white on rice, like how he would have wanted her to be while he was in prison. And he was very big on people keeping that same energy about him while he was in prison as they did when he gets out. Again, I totally understand both sides. He wanted her to be free if she couldn't handle the, I guess, responsibility of being with somebody who's in prison. And he honestly even admits that he himself doesn't know if he could have truly held her down in that same way, which totally broke her heart, and he kind of explained, well, if I could get through my mom leaving me, then I can get through anybody leaving me. So her leaving me, it was something that I believed I could get through. That broke my heart too, because, he's been through a lot with his mom. It seems. I know I didn't watch that last show that they did together where his mom came in and he kind of discussed that. But Yandy was super hurt too. And hell, I would be too, right? Especially after truly holding him down and staying true to him that whole 4 years. So we end the episode and whew, that was emotional. But I'm enjoying this show. I really am. I understand how that could have felt for Yandy, but I think anybody, goes into it with a question of, will I really be able to do this for so long? You know what I mean? Everybody talks a good talk, but it's definitely harder than it seems. I think Mendices is just trying to be, logical and level-headed, whereas, Yandy is emotional about it. And I do understand both sides. So what do you guys think? Okay, leave them in the comment section below. Will you be watching? Are you still interested? What did you think about the couples this week? Let's talk. Let's laugh. Let's be friends. Okay, I'll be back soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell. Like, share, comment, all those amazing things. And we will talk soon.